Amid the backdrop of yet more Kylian Mbappe-related drama, Paris Saint-Germain welcomed Marseille to the Parc des Princes for the 103rd instalment of Le Classique on Sunday night. The Parisiens remain top of the table, and it was they who started on the front foot. That man Mbappe testing Pau Lopez, and then Leo Messi crashing a free kick against the underside of the bar. This French woodwork curse continuing. It's 14 times now in Ligue Uber Eats. But PSG kept up the pressure, and this time the woodwork would be kind to them. Mbappe laying it off to Neymar, who slotted his first time finish perfectly into the bottom corner. Good work by Marco Verratti to win the ball originally. Neymar joined Jonathan David at the top of the charts with his 9th goal of the season. Owen tried to fight back, but Gianluigi Donnarumma was solid, and their task was then made harder by a red card for Samuel Gigot. 3 points successfully secured from Le Classique, and daylight reinstated at the summit for Paris. High-flying Lorient went in search of a 7th consecutive league victory when they welcomed managerless Reims to the Stade de Moustoir. The form side went close early on, Dango Ouattara firing low straight at Yvan Diouf. They came close again just before half-time. Teasing free kick defended at the back post by Alexis Flips, who somewhat sent more into the danger area, but eventually fully dealt with. Despite being reduced to 10, and eventually 9 in the second half, Reims weren't just going to sit back, came fairly close to an unlikely lead. Flo Balogun curling just wide at the far post. 0-0 the final score, the first time in 7 league games that Lorient have failed to win, ending the club's best ever run in the French top flight. Lens and Montpellier were both aiming to bounce back from recent defeats when they renewed hostilities on Saturday evening. Less than 10 minutes after coming on in the second half, Wesley Saïd produced the opener. Teddy Savernier making a rare mistake on the edge of the Montpellier box, Saïd pouncing to score his 3rd goal of the season. Finally the breakthrough from an unlikely source. The usually reliable Montpellier captain effectively laying it on a plate for Saïd. Montpellier were inches away from equalising a few minutes later though. Faitou Mouassa's header goal bound, but Kevin Danzo there to clear off the line. And that would be that. Mons do return to winning ways. They've now lost just 2 of their last 20 games in the top flight. Rennes were looking to extend their 6-game unbeaten run in the league against the Lyon side, who are yet to win away from home this season, and had a new manager in the shape of Laurent Blanc. It was a perfect start for Le Président, with the first goal under his tenure coming via the head of Alexandre Lacazette. Finding space in the middle, giving Steve Mandanda no chance. Blanc's first lead wouldn't last long. The classic combination of Benjamin Bourigeaud and Martin Terrier levelling things up. Beautifully delivered in, a deft header from the striker to deflect it home. The Rennes turnaround would be completed early in the second half when Laurent Assignon drilled in from the edge of the box, and Amin Gouiri turned home as the ball landed at his feet. 4 goals in his first 6 league games for Rennes. Lyon this time would strike back, some neat play to work it into the area, and then Lacazette there again to pounce on a loose ball. Sliding Dembele, perhaps doing enough to put Vander off. Veteran keepers parry falling right to the feet of Lacazette. But 5 minutes later there would be a 5th goal, and it would go the way of the hosts. Another Terrier header, this time one that would decide the match. Bruno Genesio surely the more satisfied of the 2 coaches as his side move into the top 5. Certainly signs of promise for Blanc and Lyon. Monaco had the chance to make it 6 league wins on the bounce when they entertained Clermont. They were reduced to 10 after just 17 minutes when Mohamed Kamara earned himself a straight red. Left up front on his own, Breel and EMBOLO nonetheless earned a penalty not long after. He didn't convert it, but kept his head to poke home his 3rd goal in as many league games on the rebound. Les Lanciers would make their extra man count 8 minutes into the second half though. Cowi's effort saved by Alexander Nubel. But Komnen Andrich able to convert the rebound. And that's how things would end. Both teams perhaps happy enough with a draw under the circumstances. A result that does see Monaco drop out of the top 5 though. After finally capturing their first victory of the campaign last weekend, Strasbourg were next looking to end a lengthy winless run against Lille. But it was Les Dogues who took the lead just before half-time. Maxime Lemarchand fouling Ismaili in the area. Jonathan David, the man to step up. Cool as you like, lifting it deftly down the middle for 1-0. Back-to-back spot kicks for the Canadian. As the game headed into the final quarter of an hour, Lille would double their lead. Strasbourg failing to clear their lines as a substitute, Timothy Weir, drove a low ball into the box, and David there to convert. 5 goals in his last 4, and now the division's joint leading scorer. 9 goals altogether. A few minutes later, if there were any doubt remaining, Les Dogues would wrap up the points. We're the provider again, this time teeing up Rémi Cabella to score with a clinical first-time finish. Strasbourg fail both to build on their first victory and end their winless streak against Lille, and move a little closer to those in the top 5. Toulouse were aiming to keep their purple patch going when they welcomed Angers to the southwest. They would take the lead. Raphael Ratau out to Michael Deslot on the wing, played back in, and a combination of Ratau and Faris Shaibi putting it on a plate for Brecht Desjaguers. A nicely worked goal and an early lead for TFC. The visitors would equalise in some style. Nabil Bendeleb stepping up to take a free kick, promising position for a left footer, making good on that promise. Just a few minutes later, Ratau bringing down a long ball nicely and attempting to whip in a cross. The Brazilian immediately claiming for a handball. After a long delay, the referee would head to his pitch side monitor and decide it's a penalty. Franco van den Boomen, the man to step up, and no mistake from the Dutchman, blasting it past Yaya Fofana. After withstanding a bit of second half pressure, Toulouse would extend their lead. Shaibi the provider again. A simple task of laying it off this time though. Stein Spearings doing the hard work, hammering his effort into the top corner. 2 goals in 3 games for the Dutchman. Visitors would grab a second via an Amin Salama header, but it was too little too late. 3-2 the final score. Toulouse move up into the top half in 9th, as Angers slipped to 19th. Ajaccio were aiming to build on last weekend's impressive victory at Marseille and climb out of the relegation zone when they travelled to Troyes. They were punished for missing a first-half penalty though, when ESTAC took the lead against the run of play. Jackson Perozzo racing into a long ball over the top, slotting his shot into the bottom corner. Now the top-scoring Ecuadorian in the Big 5 leagues. Despite boasting the worst attack in the division, Ajaccio continued to believe in the 89th minute their persistence would pay off. Belaili with a mazy run, and El Idrissi in the right place at the right time to rifle home a rebound, rescue a point for the visitors. They remain in the drop zone and move up to 18th, in a far better position than a few weeks ago. AUXERRE began life after Jean-Marc Furlan by hosting a faltering Nice side. Les Aiglons came into the weekend still a lowly 13th place in the table. They got off to the perfect start. Andy Delort waiting unmarked in the 6-yard box to turn into an empty net. Great work from Kefren Thuram, storming past 4 or 5 AUXERRE defenders before laying it on a plate for its striker. The goal scorer's match wouldn't last much longer though, forced off after a fairly innocuous looking tangle of legs. The Nice fans' mood would continue to worsen as the host grabbed an equaliser. Matthias Ulteri whipping in the corner, picking up a first assist of the season. Nuno da Costa headed home his 2nd goal of the season. One is even at the final whistle, certainly not the worst start for AUXERRE's interim coach. After a 3-0 defeat to Rennes in the league and a 4-0 defeat by Freiburg in the Europa League, Nantes were hoping they could finally pick up another win as they played the only side below them in the top flight, Brest. It was a poor start though, as Ludovic Blas missed a penalty. They then went 1 down as Noah Fadiga made amends for having given away the penalty in some style. But Nantes would get another chance from the spot. Simon brought down from behind as he attempted to take on a volley. This time it would be the Nigerian to take the penalty himself. And this time it would hit the back of the net. Incredibly, in the space of under a minute, Nantes would go from losing to winning. Mistake at the back straight from kickoff, allowing Ignatius Ganago in for Nantes' second. Just 46 seconds between the goals, the shortest gap between two goals since Opta started their analysis. And they would extend their lead in the second half. Les Pirates sloppy at the back, punished by Mustafa Mohamed. The Egyptians' third goal in French football. And Brest will be punished for an error in defence again before the end. Blaz robbing Ashraf Dari and then rolling the ball across the area for Moussa Sissoko to slide home his first goal in yellow. An important win for Kombouari and his side, 3 points to lift Nantes all the way from 19th to the relative safety of 14th. So 26 goals in all over the 10 games, 15 of them coming in 3 eventful games. With 3 teams to see a man dismissed, only Marseille went on to lose. With their Classique win, PSG regained daylight at the summit, 3 points clear of Lorient, with Marseille slipping behind Lens into 4th. At the bottom, Ajacccio's draw moved them above Angers. Struggling Strasbourg fall back into the relegation zone as 1 point is enough for AUXERRE to climb out. Having rounded out this weekend's action, the champions get next week's underway with a trip to Ajaccio on Friday night, whilst 3rd and 4th face off as Lens travel to Marseille.